This week's G.I. Joe toy review, where today we are on week one of the Women of G.I. Joe month, for the month of August, where this month we'll be looking at Women of G.I. Joe, and this week's topic of discussion is Covergirl. But before I get to Covergirl and our shout out to the week, I'd like to do a special shout out to one of my favorite deputies of the Frederick County Sheriff's Department, and my friend Denise V. I'd like to shout out to her because she's a very, very awesome person. Um, you know, Thank you for your service and your work, and always look forward to seeing you every time I see you. But let's go to our shout outs, where we'll be looking at first Back to the Media at 41 South Loudon Street here in Winchester, Virginia. And you can find them at 41 South Loudon Street in Winchester, Virginia at the Walking Mall. And you can find them on at www.backtothemedia.com. Backtothemedia@gmail.com is their email address. You also find them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Go there for all your video game needs, going all the way back to the Atari, all the way up to the current systems. You also find records and CDs and DVDs and Blu-rays and VHS tapes for those old school people. And you can also get like Funko Pops and comics and other stuff. Check them out. It's a very awesome store. And also, while you're in the neighborhood, go to 115 South Loudon Street on the other side of the Flash Pad at Time Traveler Toys and Collectables. And you can email them at timetravelertoys@gmail.com, and you can also find them on Facebook. And you can find like He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Star Trek, a whole bunch of movie collectibles and whatnot. So go ahead and check them out. So this is Covergirl. So let's look at Covergirl, starting with her file card, where it says G.I. Joe Vehicle Specialist, codename Courtney Covergirl Krieger. File name is Krieger Courtney A. Primary military specialty is motor transport operator. Second military specialty is armored fighting vehicle mechanic. Her birthplace is Peoria, Illinois, and her grade is an E4. and the paragraphs, the text read, Covergirl was a fashion model in Chicago and New York prior to enlistment. She grew disillusioned with the shallow world of modeling and joined the military to take her life in a more meaningful direction. Now, instead of being swathed in silk, she's covered in grease and couldn't be happier. She is proficient in diesel mechanics and gas turbine technology and can perform diagnostics, maintenance, and repair on any AFS that rolls into the vehicle bay, and can even fabricate new parts from scrap metal and in the field. This glamour girl turned grease monkey feels completely at home in the G.I. Joe garage, where her only real challenge is fending off the advances of some of the team's more amorous lugnuts. Covergirl is not only a highly skilled mechanic, she is also responsible for piloting vehicles to transport personnel and cargo for the G.I. Joe team. Proficient with operating all vehicle-mounted weapon systems to protect the convoy. She can also perform vehicle self-recovery as well as provide a cover fire while expediting field repairs during battlefield emergencies. The quote at the bottom says, people realize I'm more than just a pretty face when they bring in a busted up vehicle, and I give it back to them running smoothly and ready for battle. This really says a lot about our girl Covergirl here, where she's former model turned uh, military mechanic. But it's actually very very awesome storyline. It makes it show what a lot of the struggle that our lady counterparts actually endure of, especially when they got a high intelligence level and they have to sit there and prove more just to get ahead, just to be accepted in society. For being, instead of being taken seriously for her brains instead of her beauty. But let's take a look at her accessories. Starts off with the upraised G.I. Joe logo, codename Courtney Covergirl Kruger on the front, which I wish they would have just left it at just name instead of codename first. She also comes with her little assault submachine gun, which this gun has been used also with like the TNT, the Snow Serpent, and a couple other figures. And she also comes with her little pistol. Both weapons are made in silver plastic. And that's it on her accessories. So let's take a look at Covergirl herself. Orange hair, which is actually pretty cool. I like the orange hair, and then the way they have it sculpted with it look like it's in a cool breeze. And then she's got her little brown jacket with pockets on the chest. Also, as well as her tan uniform with her black belt and brown boots. So let's take a look at her articulation. Her head does rotate at 360. Her hair doesn't hinder in any fashion, which is pretty cool. Because I thought maybe her hair might be a hindrance, but it's actually not, which is actually awesome. And then her arm can raise to about right there, as well as a full range of motion going all the way around in 360. She does bend at the elbow, rotate her arm at a 360 at the bicep, and her wrist does swivel. She does have the ab crunch feature, which is kind of hard to do with one hand. And she does have a good range of motion side to side. Her legs do split in a twist, in a split. Her leg does lift up to about here. Like most modern era figures, double knee joint. With the exceptional few of like Big Lob and Destro and Roblox and a few others. She does have the ankle twist or pivot, as well as the ankle swivel. And that's pretty much Covergirl's articulation. So let's go ahead and look at her in battle gear. So here's Covergirl in battle gear. She makes her first comic book appearance in issue number 16, along with a couple other Joes. And she makes her first cartoon appearance in G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, also known as the Match Device, in episode 2, part 2 of that miniseries. And in the cartoon, she was given blonde hair, and in that Match Device series, and then it went to turn into red. But I like how they gave her orange hair instead of red. And in the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra movie, she was actually killed by Sartan in the infamous pit attack. And it's a shame to have her killed off. But my thoughts on this figure is, like, this is a very awesome figure. I didn't have the vintage version because my parents really didn't want to spend too much money on a vehicle. But I've always had, like, women figures growing up. I had Jinx, I had Serrano, when I was a kid. And I had a couple other women figures. Lady J I had. So I was always interested in playing with the girl figures because they didn't really want to put out girl figures because they didn't think boys would play with them. But I always liked playing with the girl figures because they were a very important part of the Joe team and the Cobra organization. But that's my opinion. That's just me. But I would rate this figure as a top tier figure. This is a definite must have in anybody's figure collection. And I would highly recommend this figure. But that's my review on Covergirl. Tune in next week as we review G.I. Joe's medic, Doc. Or Lady Doc, however you want to call her. But tune in next week to see Doc. This has been Covergirl. I hope everybody enjoyed Women of Cobra Month and is enjoying Women of G.I. Joe Month. But this has been Covergirl. Tune in next week to see Doc. And this has been Cobra Island signing out saying now you know and knowing is head to battle, and see you in the next one. Peace.